So, hello everyone. I hope am I audible and visible to all of you. Is my Yeah, that's great. So, hello guys, how are you? If like my voice is audible to any one of you, then you can please comment so that we can start the class. Okay. So, hello guys, how are you? So, this is my second last. I think my voice is repeating. So, as all of you know that this is my, I would say, 13th class of no, 30 no, I would say that 10th or 11th class of speed maths, correct. So in today's class, I would be like, I have written in the board that today I would be discussing a number system, where in number system, what topics you need to know in a basic calculation skills, we're going to discuss that. And then I would come to the revision part. As all of you know, we did the revision also yesterday. We did like a lot of things. We did the divisibility, and then we did multiplication rules and everything. Correct now. So as far as guys, I would say that before starting your bank prep, you can follow my videos of number system, which will help you a lot. So let's start. Do not waste the time, and let's start with the theory part. So today we're gonna discuss about the theories. Correct. Have a look. So today we're gonna discuss about the theory part, which is again I would say very important, which is like theory part we're gonna discuss today. What is the basically theory of number system? So if I talk about number system, now need to understood by everyone. If I talk about number system, this needs to be understood by everyone that what is basically number system is. Now let's come and understand the number system part. Okay, if anyone is there, you can just comment guys, so that I can means I can have a look. So basically there are number system we talk about, there are two numbers. One is basically a real number. Okay, one is basically real number. I hope everybody knows about the real number. And the other is basically imaginary number. Now see the exam which you are giving, in which in that this exam the imaginary number is being not asked. Correct, means this is not important for you. The important section for you is a real number part. So we need to focus on real number part. Correct, because this is the core importance part of the syllabus of yours. Correct. So uh, like many of the question can be asked from this real number. So let's discuss the real number and let's see. Now if I talk about the real number, okay, if I talk about the real number, what do you mean by like real number? Now, if I talk about the real number is basically are those numbers which are present, correct, which are basically present, which are there. So in the real number, you will also have a two kinds of number. First is a rational number. First is basically a rational number, I would say, and make a note of it. And the other is basically irrational number. First is rational number, and other I would say is a irrational number. These are important thing which you should know. Other is irrational number. And what are they? That number basically a number which have a format of p by q, means p by q means rational number is a number which is having a format of p by q in which q is not equals to 0, and the irrational number is part which is not the format of p by q. Correct, means like if many times I would say that root 2, like root 2 is a irrational number. Correct now. So these are a basic sections of the real numbers. Correct. Now as we all know that there is not much important of a irrational number part. The importance comes from a rational number. Correct. So rational numbers, because see, because rational number includes what? If I would talk about rational number includes what? Rational number includes p by q, which is a numerator and the denominator. So here comes the, again here comes the part of fractions. Correct. Here comes the part of fraction. Means I am saying that if I talk about fractions, if I talk about rational number, if I say that if I talk about rational number, so in rational number I need to study the fractions. Correct na? In rational number I need to study the fractions. So basically fractions is what? Basically fractions is what? So fractions is basically a three kinds of fraction. First is Proper fraction, I would say. First is proper fraction. Then I would say improper fraction. Then I would say improper fraction. Improper fraction. And the other is basically a mixed fraction. Improper fraction. And the other I would say a mixed fraction. Try to get these things, everyone. Oh, correct. Other I would say is a mixed fraction. Correct. Now other part is basically a, I would say, a mixed fraction. So you need to understand this. What is basically a proper fraction? Proper fraction is what? See, every fraction contains a numerator and then a denominator. Every fraction is containing these two parts, a numerator and the denominator. Now, if I would say that my numerator is less than the denominator, that part is called a proper fraction, where I can say that means if I would write like 4 by 8, 4 by 8 is basically a proper fraction. Correct. 4 by 8 is basically a proper fraction. Now, if I talk about reverse of it, means if I say that my numerator is greater than the denominator, like 8 by 4. 8 by 4 is what? A improper fraction. Try to know this part, that this is very, very important, that you should have a knowledge of proper fraction and then you should have a knowledge of improper fraction. Correct. And then again, guys, I'm having a mixed fraction, which everybody knows. Writing like a number into 1 by 2 kind of is known as mixed fraction. Correct now? Is this clear to everyone? Come on, say. I hope so. This is clear to everyone. So these are basically basic ideas of the number, starting with the rational number, fractions, proper fraction, mixed fractions. Correct. Now let us start with, when I talk about, see, I was where? I was in the rational number part. I was where? I was in the rational number part. If I was in the rational number part, in rational number part, what we have done right now? We have done what? We have done basically fractions. Correct. Try to understand. Now, if we have done fractions, then the other part is basically called it as a integer. Now, what do you mean by integer? Integer are basically two kinds. What is one? We are having like negative integer, and other we have like positive integer. Now, if I draw a number line, then I can simply say this is my 0, this is my +1, this is my +2, this is my +3, this is my +4. These are my positive integer. And if I take a negative of it, means if I take negative of it, -1, -2, -3 and -4, so on and so forth. So these are basically my negative integer and that are my positive integer. Now when I write this positive integer and when I include this 0, when I don't include 0 and I sum up this part, means I take this part, this is called my natural number. This is my natural number. Keep in mind, everyone, which is very important. And when I include this 0 part, this is my whole number. This is my whole number. So you need to understand that what is my natural number and what is my whole number. I hope this makes sense to everyone. Correct. Now let me make you understand one more part here. Now from here you can have an understanding that how the question can be asked. Correct. So let me just make you solve that. First of all, we did from the integer, right? So from integer perspective, we know that we are having a 2 integer. So if we know that we are having 2 integer, I'll come to the point of positive integer. Now if I come to the point positive integer, then I know that positive integers contains what? A natural number, first of all. A natural number, or you can say whole number as well, first of all. A natural number. Then I would say a whole number. Correct now? Natural number and a whole number. First is natural number, second is whole number. Third is prime number. Then we have odd number. Then we have even number. Then we have composite number. We also have like composite number. And at the last we are having like co-prime number. Sixth number is co-prime number. So there are a lot of numbers, but at least being a student, you all should know about these numbers. Means if you are a student now, you all should know about these numbers. Basically, you should know about these numbers. Means there should be idea that you should know natural number, whole number. Let's discuss one by one slowly, and then we'll move further. Okay, so as I discussed right now, if I talk about the natural number, if I talk about the natural number, everybody knows what is natural number is. It's not like it's a very rocket science to know. Everybody knows about the natural number, which is nothing but what? When I start a number from 1 and I end up to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and I end up this number to n. This is my natural number, correct? Now, if I talk about point number 1, point number 2, if I talk about whole number, if I talk about whole number, correct? When the number starts from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6, and then so on and so forth. These are my what? Whole numbers, correct? I would request everyone to note it down. If you are like free, then note it down. Now, if I talk about my third number, which is I would say even number. Even number are what numbers? When they are divisible by 2, correct? When the number is divisible by 2, which is 2, which is 4, which is 6, which is 8, which is 10, and so on and so forth, correct? Now, what is odd number? The number which are not divisible by 2. Odd number which is not divisible by 2 means 3 is odd number, 5 is odd number, 7 is odd number, 9 is odd number, 11 is odd number, 13 is odd number, so on and so forth, correct? So I would write that, so on and so forth. Now, see, these are like basic thing which I would say that you have studied in class 8, 9 or 10. Very basic thing, guys. Not an issue. Let's start the point where you can understand. Let's start the point where I'm like guiding you towards the prime number. Now, if I talk about the prime numbers, correct? Now, if I talk about the prime number, what do you mean by prime numbers? Now, suppose if I take a number, the number having only two factors, the number having only two factors, only two factors. As I said, the number having only two factors is called a prime number. For example, if I take a number 2, 2 is having only two factors, which is 1 and 2, correct? If I talk about number 3, only two factors, 1 and 3. If I talk about 5, only two factors, 1 and 5, correct now? So these are basically numbers, those numbers which are having only two factors, which is 2, which is 3, which is 5, and so on and so forth. So the point comes here. Let's suppose, guys, let's now learn something new. If I would say you, let's do a square of this number. If you do a square of this number, this becomes 4. If you do a square of this number, this becomes 9. If you do a square of this number, this becomes 25, correct now? Now see, now the factor will change. Factor is 1, okay. Factor is 2, okay. And then the factor is 4, correct now? 4. So factor is 1, okay. Factor is 3, okay, fine. Factor is 9, then again 9. Factor is 1, okay. Factor is 5, okay. And then factor is 25. So when you do a square of a prime number, so you can note it down. When you do a square of a prime number, if you do a square of a p number, prime number, you get exactly 3 factors. This may be used in further calculation, guys. What do you get? You get exactly 2 factors. Exactly 2 factors, which is very important, I would say. You get exactly 2 factors. Correct now? I hope this much is clear to everyone. You get exactly 2 factors. You can note it down. And when you are having like more than 2 factors, that number is basically called adverse. That number is called composite number. So when you do a square of a prime number, you can write down here. When you do, this might be known to you, might not be known to you, but note it down. When you do square of a prime number, when you do square of prime number, that number becomes a composite number. That number becomes what that number becomes? Composite number. Composite number. I hope this makes sense to everyone. That number becomes, guys, composite number. This is very important point. Means here I can say that composite numbers are those numbers. Here I can say composite number are those number having more than two factors. Are those number are those number having more than two factor, having more than two factors, as we have done right now. So this is the definition of composite number. Is it clear? Hi SS, how are you? I hope you are like watching me. Correct, na? So you can note it down these points. Let's come to the second part, which is again very important. Now, what is basically co-prime numbers? If I talk about my co-prime number, if I talk about my co-prime number, what do you mean by my co-prime number? This is a basically co-prime number comes in a pair. Always remember, co-prime number always comes in a pair. And when the number comes in a pair, there's a common. For if I talk about that 4 and 6 are a, isn't 4 and 6 is a co-prime number? No. Why? Because you can say 2 is also common and you can say 1 is also common. Correct? So this is not a co-prime number. But if you take like 3 and 5. So if you take a number 3 and 5, you can see that their common part is only 1. So if the common part is 1, we can also say that the HCF of this number is 1. We can say the HCF of this number is 1. So when we call it the HCF of this number is 1, so basically co-prime number comes in a pair, and if this number comes in a pair, their HCF is always 1. And many a time this small concept is used in the problem solving approach, I would say. Hi SS, how are you? I hope. Hi Kavya. Is this understood to everyone? Can you please comment? Correct, na? So basically the co-prime numbers comes in a pair, and in pair their common part is basically 1. Okay, common part is basically 1. So you can understand now, okay, the HCF would be also 1, and many times I've used this concept in the I would say in problem solving approach. Let's come to the next part, which you should know the formulas. Okay, means these are like that formula which you should know. Formula is basically what? If you add the consecutive numbers, correct? If you add, so suppose if I'm adding like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, what is the sum? Plus n. So what is the sum of this number? 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. The sum of this number is nothing but n into n plus 1 divided by 2. This is called the sum. So you should know that the addition of consecutive numbers starting from 1, the sum is basically n into n plus 1 by 2. Okay. Basically n into n plus 1. Very important. Correct. Many number series I find this concept being used. In wrong number series I find this concept being used. Correct. Now let's do the square of 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square plus 6 square, so on, plus n square. What is the sum? Again you need to sum of this number. So this is basically n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Correct? N into n plus 1 multiplied by 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Correct? Correct. I hope this is clear. And n is the last number. As you know, we have marked it like n here, and this is the n is the last number. So this is also very important, I would say. Please note it down. This is the second formula. Third one, when you do the cube of it, 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus 4 cube plus 5 cube and so on and so forth, n cube. What should be the addition part, which is n into n plus 1 by 2 ka whole square. This is the sum of n numbers, correct? So these are like 3 formulas. Then the last one is sum of odd numbers. If you want to club sum of odd numbers, so sum of n odd numbers, you can write sum of n odd numbers. So the formula for sum of n odd numbers is nothing but n square. N square. Now sum of n even numbers. Sum of n even numbers. Now sum of n even number. Even number is n into n plus 1. So these are, I would say, a very, like, I would say, basic part to understand. And you means to understand to, or you should have a mugged up, or you should know at least these parts before we start the syllabus, before we start the arithmetic section. Everyone who is watching my video should be aware about that what we are studying. These are basic things, which all of you should know. Then come to the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I hope this is clear now. Then come to the other part. Other part is basically what? See, basically other part, again I will come to the formula, and I would write down, everybody knows that a ka square, what, and b ka square, a square minus b square is what? Everybody knows this is basically a plus b and a minus b. A plus b into a minus b. Secondly, if I write a plus b ka whole square, you guys know, which is a square plus 2ab minus 2ab plus 2ab plus b ka square. A minus b ka whole square, I think everybody knows, a square minus 2ab plus b ka square. As for example, you can also figure out a minus b ka whole cube, then you can figure it out a plus b ka whole cube, and so on and so forth. Correct? So there is a small method of calculating the squares. Let me just make you understand that, which is called binomial theorem, which I includes in a binomial theorem. Binomial theorem. So try to understand about this theorem. Now, if I say that a plus b ka whole square, if I write a plus b ka whole square, you are basically writing 11 ka square, which is 121. If you'll write now 1, 2 and 1. See, the power of a and b is basically 2 only, na? Power of a and b is basically 2. So you are basically, what you are doing, increasing the power of a till the maximum power, which is a square. Decreasing a, then b will come, then a into b. Then you will then a will get vanished. Now b ka square. So basically what happens, every time power is same. Here is a1 and b1, then 2. A ka square, a vanish, a 1 less, and then a is like vanished. So you can write, now see, 1 to 1 is, here is 1, here is 2, and here is 1. Write down the plus sign. So this is how the formula becomes. Correct? This is how the formula becomes what I am trying to say, that if you write a plus b ka whole square, you can write a square plus 2ab plus b ka square. Basically 1, 2, 1 is 11 ka square. And a square, a is the maximum power, having 1 less, and then a is vanished. Now if I suppose write a plus b ka whole cube, what I need to do? A maximum power is a cube, then decrease a square, then introduce b, then decrease a, then introduce b, then you can vanish b cube. Then this would be 11 ka cube. 11 ka cube is what? 1, 3, 3, 1. Correct? With the plus sign. I hope this is clear. If anyone is having problem, you can ask me. If any one of you are having problem, you can ask me directly, guys, if like you are having a problem. So with this method now, you can derive a formula of a plus b ka whole cube, a minus b ka whole cube. Always remember, in this kind of expression, there is a rule of 11. 11 ka square is basically 121. 11 ka cube is basically 1, 3, 3, 1. 11 ka power 4 is basically 1, 4, 6, 4 and 1. So always this is happening. Try to understand, this is basically a triangular series. In such kinds of series is been also asked in the wrong number series also. This 1 is written over here. This 1 is written over here. Club this 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 3 is basically 6. And 3 plus 1 is 4 and 1 is side by side. So you can see that you can now you can derive any of the formula by yourself. I hope this is clear to everyone. So anyone in the class? Okay. So I would say that you should like have a logical understanding that what we are doing. Again, the things which are like important for the foundation for the speed calculation we are doing today, and we'll do one more class I'll take on this. Correct. Do not forget making the notes out of it, guys, because this is again helping you a lot to like having a base, having a strong base. Correct. If you'll not have the strong base, you will struggle in the calculation or in these parts. From where it came, from where it not came, how to derive it. So that's why I've said that you should at least have a knowledge of numbers in this case. So that is how I'm delivering you the part which is very, very important for developing your base. Correct. Now I would say that go through my all videos, try to make a notes, write down in a copy. This is a speed calculation notes. Speed calculation notes. Write down in the copy. These are basically speed calculation notes. Why? Because see, the basic points really matters when you solve a question. Basic points. So these are basically basic points which will help you in developing your like I would say ground zero to the topmost level of your study. So I would say note it down these all, because I have taken like every session. Tomorrow is the last session on my tomorrow will be the last session on my calculation skills. Last session on the calculation skills. I have guided you everything, how to add first of all, how to subtract, then how to divide, then fractionals problem, then I've guided you I would say cube root, then I guided you square root, then how to figure out the squares, then multiplication. I've like taken many sessions. Now I'm talking about the numbers. So tomorrow session will be the practice sessions for this all which I have guided you. Correct. Means there I will be teaching you the practice questions. So I would be saying all of you to attend that class, because that is the very important class for all of you to attend, because we'll solving the question based on our logics which we have done till now. Is there any doubt, Kavya and anyone in the class? So all the calculation skills part we are doing is, I would say, very, very important. If you guys have any doubt, then please ask. And I would say to everyone that please share this session to your friends, so that he can make a notes of the basic foundation speed math skills. Basic foundation speed math skill, he would make a notes out of it. Everything which I have taught should be written in your copy, because I was initially doing the same. So I'm asking all of you to do the same. Maintain a copy. Try to evaluate yourself that you know the multiplication or not, you know the division or not, you know the addition or not, you know the fractional part or not, because these things will help you a lot. I hope my points are clear. Please do write in the comment section the sessions is helping you or not. So I would request write in the comment section that my sessions are helping you or not, so that we can like come up from day after tomorrow. Means day after tomorrow we will be discussing the chapters basically, and I'll start from the percentage. My first point will be discussion on the part of percentage. So I'll start with the percentage, everyone, and we'll solve like many question in terms of percentage. Correct. So I hope you really enjoyed the class. Till then, bye bye everyone. Bye guys. Shining off, Agni Mitra, and keep shining and keep learning. Any doubt, join my Telegram link. If you have any doubt, connect with me, like how to solve this problem in another way. I will be guiding you. Till then, bye bye guys. Keep shining and keep learning. Bye bye. Have a nice day.